My name is Caleb. I'm 32, and I'm a firefighter in Portland. Been doing it for 8 years now. It's not glamorous. Most days it's medical calls, false alarms, and the occasional kitchen fire. But I love it. The crew, the routine, the feeling that what I do actually matters. I'm also single. Not divorced, never married. Just focused on other things, I guess. Work, the gym, saving money. My buddies always give me grief about it. Cal, you're gonna die alone in that big house. Maybe, but at least it'll be my house. That house, the lake house. That's where this whole mess started. I bought it last year. $680,000. Sounds insane, right? For a firefighter? But I've been saving since I was 18. Lived with roommates until I was 28. Drove the same beat-up truck for a decade. Brought lunch to the station every single shift. No vacations, no fancy dinners, nothing. My dad used to call me the tightest guy in Oregon. He meant it as an insult. I took it as a compliment. The house sits on Lake Oswego, about 40 minutes from the city. 2 bedrooms, huge deck, private dock. It's my retirement plan, really. Property values there only go up. But also it's mine. The first thing that's ever been completely, totally mine. I'd had it for 8 months when my phone rang on a Tuesday afternoon. I was at the station, just finishing lunch. Meatball sub, same thing I eat every Tuesday. My phone buzzed on the table. Dad's name on the screen. Hey, Dad. Caleb. How's my favorite son? I'm his only son. He always says that. Good. Just at work. What's up? Well, your mother and I were talking, and we've got some exciting news. I immediately felt that familiar knot in my stomach. With my parents, exciting news usually meant we've made a decision that affects you. Okay, we're planning the family reunion for this summer, August, and we thought your lake house would be absolutely perfect for it. I set down my sub. The reunion. Yes, the whole family. Your Aunt Carol, Uncle Mike, all the cousins. We're thinking the whole first week of August. Maybe 10, 12 people. My mouth went dry. Dad, your mother's already so excited. She's been calling everyone. We haven't had a proper reunion in years. Dad, the house only sleeps 4 people comfortably. Oh, we'll make it work. Air mattresses, sleeping bags. It'll be like camping. Camping. In my $680,000 house. Orchestrated character introduction and narrative tension through dialogue escalation. I don't know, Dad. I was thinking of using it myself in August. You? You never use it. You told me yourself you've only been there twice since you bought it. That was true, but that wasn't the point. I'm planning to use it more. That's why I bought it. Caleb. His voice got that edge it always gets when he thinks I'm being difficult. It's family. You're not going to say no to family, are you? There it was. The guilt trip. The same one I'd been getting since I was a kid. Can I think about it? What's to think about? We're not asking you to do anything. Just let us use the house you're not even using. My chest tightened. This is how it always goes with them. They decide something, then act like I'm the bad guy for not immediately agreeing. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. Sure. But don't take too long. Your mother wants to send out invitations this week. Invitations. Like it was already decided. Talk later, Dad. I hung up and stared at my half-eaten sub. Suddenly, I wasn't hungry anymore. My lieutenant, Marcus, walked past. You good, Cal? Yeah, just family stuff. He laughed. Say no more. But I couldn't say no, could I? That was the problem. I never could. Growing up, I was the responsible one. My sister Morgan, 3 years younger, was the free spirit. The artist. The one who followed her heart. Which meant she dropped out of college twice, moved back home 4 times, and had 3 kids by 3 different guys before she turned 30. Don't get me wrong, I love my nephews. Tyler's 8, Jackson's 6, and Leo just turned 4. Good kids. But Morgan's whole life has been a series of crisis situations that my parents rush in to fix. Me? I never needed fixing. I got a job at 16, paid for my own car, never asked for anything. You'd think that would make me the favorite, right? Wrong. Caleb doesn't need help, my mom would say. He's so independent. Translation, we can ignore you because you won't complain. The lake house was supposed to be different. It was supposed to be mine, something they couldn't lay claim to, couldn't make me share, couldn't guilt me about. I should have known better. 2 days after my dad's call, my mom called. Caleb, honey, Dad told me about the reunion. I'm so excited. Mom, I haven't said yes yet. Oh, don't be silly. Of course you're saying yes. It's family. I was driving home from a 48-hour shift. Exhausted. Not in the mood. The house isn't set up for that many people, Mom. We'll manage. Oh, and I had another thought. Morgan's been having such a hard time lately. Here we go. What kind of hard time? Well, you know Jake moved out last month. Jake was boyfriend number 3. Father of Leo. I didn't know that. Oh yes. It's been very difficult for her. And the boys are out of school in June. So I thought, what if they stayed at your lake house for the summer? Give Morgan a break. Let the boys have some fun. I nearly swerved into the next lane. The entire summer? Well, July and August. You don't use it anyway. And it would mean so much to Morgan. She's really struggling, Caleb. Mom, I can't just let people live in my house for 2 months. They're not people. They're your sister and your nephews. Your family. That word again. Family. The weapon they always used. I need to think about it. What's there to think about? Her voice got sharp. We're not asking for money. We're not asking you to do anything. Just let us use something you're not even using. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. It's not that simple. Yes, Caleb, it is. But you've always been selfish with your things. Even when you were little. Selfish. Me. The guy who'd never asked them for a dime since I turned 18. I have to go, Mom. I'm driving. Fine. But think about what I said. Think about someone other than yourself for once. She hung up before I could respond. I sat in my driveway for 20 minutes after I got home, just staring at nothing. Selfish. I'd paid for that house with money I earned. Money I saved. Money I sacrificed for. I'd eaten ramen and slept on a futon for years. I'd skipped trips and dates and new clothes. Also, I could have something of my own. And now I was selfish for not wanting to hand it over. I went inside and opened a beer. Didn't even drink it. Just held it. My phone buzzed. Morgan. Hey, big bro. Mom told me about the summer thing. The boys are so excited. Thank you so much. I hadn't said yes. Morgan, I didn't actually agree to. I know it's a huge favor. But honestly, Caleb, you're saving my life right now. Jake's being fool about custody, and I just need some space to figure things out. And the boys need a good summer, you know? They've been through so much. Guilt. More guilt. How long were you thinking? Mom said July and August. Is that okay? I mean, I might come up on weekends, but mostly it would just be the boys. I'll get Mom or Dad to check on them. Wait, the boys alone? Well, Tyler's 8. He's very responsible. Morgan, they're children. They can't stay alone. Oh, Mom said she'd stay with them. Didn't she tell you? No, she hadn't mentioned that part. So Mom would be there too? Yeah, just to supervise. You know how she loves being with the boys. It's perfect. Perfect. My mother, living in my house for 2 months with 3 kids. I really need to think about this, Morgan. Caleb. Her voice got quiet. Please. I know I'm a screw-up. I know I always need help. But the boys, they deserve a good summer. And you have this beautiful place just sitting there. The just sitting there argument again. I'll think about it. Thank you. You're the best brother ever. She hung up. I sat there with my unopened beer and thought about my life. About always being the reliable one. The one who didn't need anything. The one who was expected to give and never ask for anything back. I'd bought that house because I needed something that was mine. Something I didn't have to share. Something I could control. And in less than a week, my family had decided it was theirs. The next morning, I drove out to the lake house. I hadn't been there in 3 weeks. It looked perfect. The deck furniture I'd bought, the new grill, the kayak tied to the dock. I stood on the deck and looked out at the water. This was mine. I'd earned it. But already I could picture it. My mom rearranging my furniture, Morgan's kids tracking mud through the living room, my dad grilling on my deck and acting like he owned the place. My phone rang. Dad again. So, we're good for August, right? Your mom wants to book the caterer. Caterer? For the reunion. She's thinking a pig roast. Very festive. A pig roast. At my house. That I hadn't agreed to host. Dad, I still haven't said. Caleb, don't make this difficult. It's 1 week. 1 week for your family. You can do that, can't you? I looked out at the lake. At my dock. My kayak. My house. Yeah, I heard myself say. Sure. 1 week. Great. I'll tell your mother. She'll be thrilled. He hung up. I stood there, phone in hand, and realized what I'd just done. I'd said yes. Not because I wanted to, but because saying no would make me the bad guy. The selfish son. The one who wouldn't help family. I got in my truck and drove home, hating myself the entire way. The next 2 weeks were a nightmare. My mom called every other day with updates. They were inviting 16 people now. They'd need to rent tables. Did I have enough toilet paper? Should they hire a cleaning service before or after? Morgan texted constantly. Could the boys bring their bikes? Was the water safe for swimming? Did I have life jackets? My dad sent me a Venmo request for $300. Your share of the food costs. My share. For an event I didn't plan. At my house. I paid it. Of course I did. At the station, Marcus noticed I was off. You okay, man? You've been quiet. Family stuff, I said again. The reunion thing? I'd mentioned it once. Yeah. And you're cool with it? Was I? I mean, it's just a week. Plus your sister's whole summer, right? I looked at him. How did you? You told me last shift. After your mom called. Had I? I didn't remember. Everything was blurring together. It's fine, I said. They're family. Marcus gave me a look. Cal, you know you can say no to people, right? I did say no. They just didn't listen. So say it louder. If only it were that easy. The breaking point came on a Saturday. I was at the lake house, doing some maintenance. Cleaning the gutters, checking the dock, normal stuff. My phone rang. Mom. Caleb. Wonderful news. I climbed down from the ladder. What's up? Morgan found the cutest decorations for the boys' rooms. She's ordering them today. She wanted to check which bedroom should be the boys' room. What? For the summer. Should they take the master or the guest room? The master. My bedroom. Mom, they're not taking the master. Well, the guest room only has a full bed. The master has a king. The boys can all fit. They're not sleeping in my bed. Caleb, don't be ridiculous. You won't even be there. Something in me snapped. It's my bed. An MY house. That I paid for. Silence. Then, excuse me. I said it's my house, Mom. I bought it. With my money. Money I saved for years. Well, I'm aware of that, Caleb. But family shares. That's what family does. You didn't ask if you could share it. You told me you were using it. Because we knew you'd say yes. You're not using it anyway. Stop saying that. I was yelling now. Stop saying I don't use it. It doesn't matter if I use it or not. It's mine. Caleb Robert Morrison, you lower your voice right now. No. I'm 32 years old. I don't have to lower my voice. I bought this house because I wanted something that was mine, and you've turned it into a family commune. That is incredibly selfish. Yeah? You know what's selfish? Deciding you're entitled to something that doesn't belong to you. You know what's selfish? Never asking, always demanding. You know what's selfish? Calling me selfish every time I try to set a boundary. My hands were shaking. I'd never talked to my mother like this. Never. I can't believe what I'm hearing, she said, voice cold. After everything we've done for you. What? What have you done for me? I've been on my own since I was 18. We raised you. We fed you. We put a roof over your head. That's called being a parent, Mom. That's the bare minimum. You're not supposed to hold that over my head for the rest of my life. If this is how you're going to be, then fine. We'll cancel the reunion. We'll tell Morgan she can't bring the boys. And everyone will know exactly why. Everyone will know that Caleb couldn't be bothered to help his own family. The guilt trip to end all guilt trips. But something was different this time. I looked around my property, my deck, my view, my peace, and I realized I didn't care. I didn't care if they were mad. I didn't care if they thought I was selfish. I didn't care if they told the whole family. This was mine, and they couldn't have it. You know what, Mom? Tell them whatever you want. What? Tell them I'm selfish. Tell them I'm a terrible son. Tell them whatever story makes you feel better. But you're not using my house. Caleb, I'm done. This conversation is over. I hung up. My heart was pounding. My hands were still shaking. And I felt free. For the first time in weeks, maybe years, I felt free. I called a locksmith that afternoon. Had him come out Monday to change every lock. Front door, back door, garage, gate. New codes for the security system. New access codes for the driveway gate. Then I called my lawyer. Had him draft a trespassing notice. Just in case. I didn't tell my family. Didn't announce it. Just did it. Let them find out the hard way. The call started Tuesday night. First, my dad. Caleb, your mother is very upset. Okay. That's all you have to say. I told her no. She didn't listen. You were incredibly rude to her. You need to apologize. I'm not apologizing for setting a boundary. A boundary? You screamed at your own mother. After she called me selfish for not giving her my house. Nobody's trying to take your house, Caleb. We just wanted to use it. Without asking. We were asking. No, Dad. Asking is, would you be comfortable with this? What you did was we've decided this is happening. That's not asking. He sputtered. You're being completely unreasonable. Then I guess I'm unreasonable. The answer is still no. Fine. But don't come crying to us when you need something. He hung up. Orchestrated family conflict escalation with property access denial and dramatic confrontation. Morgan was next. Caleb, what? Hi, Morgan. Mom called me crying. Crying. What did you say to her? I told her she couldn't use my house. Are you serious right now? The boys were so excited. I already told them about the lake. That's not my problem. Not your. Caleb, they're kids. You're going to disappoint 3 little kids because you're having some kind of power trip? I'm not having a power trip. I'm protecting my property. Your property. Listen to yourself. It's a house, Caleb. Just a house. Then buy your own. Silence. Forget you, she said, and hung up. I sat there, waiting to feel guilty. Waiting for that familiar knot in my stomach. It didn't come. Instead, I felt steady. Solid. Like I was standing on firm ground for the first time in my life. The next day, my Aunt Carol called. Then Uncle Mike. Then 3 cousins I barely talked to. All with the same message. How could I do this to the family? I stopped answering. By Thursday, I figured it was over. They'd gotten the message. They'd cancel their plans. I was wrong. Saturday morning, I was at the lake house. Just checking on things. Making sure the new locks worked properly. I was on the deck, coffee in hand, when I heard vehicles on the gravel driveway. Multiple vehicles. I walked around to the front and stopped dead. A U-Haul truck. My parents' SUV. Morgan's minivan. Uncle Mike's pickup. They were here. My dad got out first. Caleb. Good. You're here. Can you help us unload? I stared at him. Unload what? The supplies for the reunion. We've got tables, chairs, the kids' bikes. Morgan was getting the boys out of the minivan. My mom was already heading for the front door. What are you doing? I said. What do you mean? We're setting up. My dad looked confused. Like I was the crazy one. I told you no. Oh, Caleb, don't be dramatic. We worked it out. We're just going to use it this one time, and then we'll talk about the summer situation later. There's nothing to talk about. You're not using it. My mom reached the door. Tried the handle. Frowned. Tried again. Caleb, the door's locked. I know. She looked at me. Well, unlock it. No. You could have heard a pin drop. What? My dad said. I said no. You're not coming in. You need to leave. Caleb, we drove 3 hours. I didn't ask you to do that. We have a U-Haul full of stuff. Again, not my problem. My mom's face was turning red. Open this door right now. No. Caleb, I changed the locks. And the gate code. And the security system. You can't get in. So you need to leave. Morgan stepped forward, boys behind her. Caleb, the kids are here. I can see that. They think they're spending the summer here. Then you shouldn't have told them that without asking me first. Tyler, the 8-year-old, started crying. Uncle Caleb, don't you want us here? Oh, that was low. I knelt down. Tyler, buddy, I love you. But your mom made a mistake. She should have asked me before making plans. But Mom said. I know what Mom said. But this is my house, and I get to decide who uses it. He cried harder. Morgan scooped him up. Great. You made him cry. Feel good about yourself. Feel good about using your kids as emotional blackmail? Her mouth fell open. My dad stepped between us. Okay. Everyone calm down. Caleb, clearly there's been a miscommunication. No miscommunication. I was very clear. Multiple times. You chose not to listen. We're family. So? That doesn't mean you get to walk all over me. Nobody's walking over you. Dad, you planned an entire reunion at my house without my permission. Mom committed to Morgan that she could stay here for the summer. Without asking me. You sent me a bill for food I didn't agree to buy. You showed up with a U-Haul of stuff. How is that not walking all over me? He had no answer. My mom tried a different approach. Tears. Caleb, honey, I don't understand what's happened to you. You used to be such a sweet boy. I was a doormat. There's a difference. How can you say that? Because it's true. My whole life, you've expected me to be the easy one. The one who doesn't need anything. The one who just goes along with whatever everyone else wants. And I did. For 32 years. But I'm done. So you're just going to cut off your family? I'm not cutting anyone off. You can call me. Visit me at my apartment. Have a relationship with me that doesn't involve using my stuff. But this house, it's mine. And you're not entitled to it. Uncle Mike, who'd been silent until now, spoke up. Caleb, your dad told us this was all arranged. We wouldn't have driven out here if we'd known. I told Dad it wasn't arranged. He chose to tell you something different. Everyone looked at my dad. I thought you'd come around, he said quietly. Well, I didn't. So now you need to leave. Where are we supposed to go? Morgan demanded. We gave up our camping reservation because of this. Not my problem. You're unbelievable. I'm done being everyone's backup plan. I'm done being the guy you can count on to bail you out. Figure it out yourselves. I walked back to the deck, left them standing in the driveway. It took them 30 minutes to leave. I heard arguing, heard Morgan yelling, heard one of the boys crying. I stayed on the deck, looking at the lake, and didn't move. Finally, I heard the vehicle start up, heard them leave. I sat down on my deck chair and let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. My phone started buzzing immediately. Calls, texts, voicemails. I turned it off. The silence was beautiful. The next week was rough. Not because I felt guilty, I didn't, but because the attacks were relentless. My dad sent a long email about respect and family values. My mom sent one about how I'd changed and not for the better. Morgan sent one that was just insults. Aunt Carol sent one about how disappointed my late grandmother would be. That one almost got to me. Almost. But then I remembered. Grandma had lived with my parents for 3 years before she died. And the whole time, they'd complained about how hard it was, how much of their time she took, how they never had any privacy. But when I'd offered to help pay for in-home care, they'd said no. Because family takes care of family. Funny how that only went one way. I didn't respond to any of the emails. At the station, I told Marcus what happened. He laughed. Actually laughed. Good for you, man. Really? Oh yeah. You know how many guys I know who let their families run their lives? You set a boundary. Stuck to it. That takes guts. They think I'm the bad guy. Of course they do. You stopped letting them use you. People don't like that. It was oddly comforting. 2 weeks later, Morgan sent a different kind of message. I've been thinking about what you said. About me using the kids. That wasn't fair. I'm sorry. I stared at my phone. An apology. From Morgan. I called her. Hey, she said, voice small. Hey. I really am sorry. I didn't think about it like that. I'm so used to mom and dad fixing everything. And when they said you agreed, I just assumed. I never agreed. I know that now. I should have asked you directly. Yeah, you should have. Silence. Are you done with us? She asked quietly. No, but things need to be different. How? You can't assume you're entitled to my stuff. You can't use the kids to guilt me. And you can't let mom and dad speak for me. Okay. And if you need help, ask me. Actually ask. Don't have mom ask. Don't hint. Just ask. And I might say no, and that needs to be okay. 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 More silence. Do you think the boys could visit sometime? Like, actually visit. With your permission. I thought about it. Yeah, maybe a weekend. When I'm there. And you're there. And we plan it together. I'd like that. Me too. We hung up. It wasn't much. But it was a start. My parents took longer. 3 months, actually. My dad called in November. Your mother wants to do Thanksgiving at our place. You're invited. If you want to come. No demands. No guilt. An actual invitation. I'll think about it. That's fair. Dad. Yeah. I'm not trying to punish you. I just need you to respect my boundaries. Long pause. I know. We weren't very good at that. Weren't. Past tense. No. You weren't. I'll work on it. Okay. I went to Thanksgiving. It was awkward. My mom barely talked to me. But she didn't ask me for anything either. Didn't comment on how I was wasting my lake house. Didn't bring up the reunion. Progress. It's been a year now. I use the lake house almost every other weekend. Sometimes I bring friends from the station. Sometimes I go alone. Sometimes I invite my nephews. With Morgan, with permission, with clear boundaries. Last month, Tyler caught his first fish off my dock. He was so proud. So was I? My parents still don't really get it. They still think I overreacted. That family should work things out. But they don't push anymore. They ask before making plans involving me. They respect when I say no. It's not perfect, but it's better. The other day, a rookie at the station asked me about the house. Man, that's awesome. You ever let your family use it? Sometimes, I said, when I invite them. What if they just want to drop by? I smiled. Then they better call first. He laughed, but I was serious. I learned something through all of this. Being family doesn't mean having unlimited access. It doesn't mean your time, your money, or your property is communal. It doesn't mean you're selfish for having boundaries. It means you love people enough to be honest with them, even when it's hard, even when they don't like it. My house sits on that lake, peaceful and quiet. The deck furniture I picked out, the kayak I bought, the grill I chose, all mine. Not because I don't share, but because I get to choose when and how I share. That's not selfish. That's self-respect. And it took me 32 years to learn the difference.